What's good, YouTube? SlimTv here to put in a good word or two. Today I want to talk about take what you learned and make it your own. You know, a lot of times in this YouTube space, we get advice from so many different sources, so many different people, and we try and implement it all. But I think where a lot of people go wrong is they take advice and they just do exactly what that person tells them to do. And on this space, the people who give advice, they argue with other creators who also give advice about what's the right way to do it. But guys, you have to do what works for you. When somebody gives you advice, like in most of my videos, take it and then twist it into what works best for you. A good example would be studying, right? When you study, there's so many different ways to do it. Some people, they sit down and they study for hours on end because that's what works for them. That's what helps them to memorize and compartmentalize what they're trying to, learn. Some people, they can't just sit down for 4 hours a day and study nonstop without any breaks. Some people need to take 30-minute intervals throughout the day to, make sure that they can do everything that they want to do and also study and get things that they need to get done. Or like my Take Heart video, for example. You guys are going to take heart in different ways. Some of you guys, taking heart means having the courage to say no. Having the courage to walk away from a situation. And for some of you guys, taking heart means looking fear straight in the eye and persevering through it. See, what happens is when you take someone else's advice and you take it all the way, you do exactly what they do, it might not work. And then you discredit that person for giving some advice that worked for them. Maybe the principle of the advice was good. And when I mean principle, like what they were saying, right? So like in my Take Heart video, I was saying, keep moving through fear. That's the principle of what I was saying. But then when I give an example, like maybe the way I go through fear is I look fear straight in the face. That's not going to work for everybody. The principle is true. The principle is solid. But my experiences are not the same as your experiences. You have to use your differences to your advantage. Do you think when Thomas Edison created the light bulb that he was thinking or using someone else's advice to do it? No, he was doing what works for him. He was using his differences, his experiences to the max in order to get that light bulb going. And you see, what this is going to do is this is going to build your confidence, because then you really start to trust in yourself. You start to believe in yourself because you believe in what you are doing. When you start to take advice and then twist it to yourself, to fit your needs, you start to believe in the way that you think. You start to realize, hey, I am brilliant and I can do this because I have a set way of doing things. And I know that my way of doing things works because it works for me. And it's not going to work for everybody else. That's what sets different basketball players apart. LeBron's way of dribbling and handling the ball is different from Stephen Curry's, but they're both good in their own right because they have their own twist and their own way of doing things. See, a lot of us, we go by the textbook. We go straight by the book. And then we wonder why we lose to people who maybe aren't going right by the book. And that's because they are exploiting or using their differences to their maximum potential. They are using what they learn, twisting it for them, and using it as a weapon. No one would be great if they followed everything by the book. Everybody would be the same. But in order to not have to follow everything by the book, you have to know yourself so that then you can transfer what you learned from that book to how you would do it. And you begin to know yourself through self-introspection. But to be honest, this is surface level. You know your likes and dislikes, right? So let's say approaching a girl, right? or for women approaching a man, if y'all even do that. But for some dudes, they know themselves, and they know that, I'm not really digging serious conversations. I get nervous when I'm in serious conversations, so I need to lighten the mood. So I'm gonna go up to her. I'm gonna start a conversation, but I'm gonna make sure that I get her laughing. I'm gonna make sure I bring up something funny, so that I can get her comfortable, so I can get myself comfortable to then pursue for the number. Other dudes are like, man, I get nervous in conversations, period. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in there straight forward, be like, hey, my name is so and so. I'm digging your vibe. Is where I get your number, and then yes or no, leave it at that, and dip on out of there. So knowing yourself is going to put you ahead in life, because in order to get through life, you have to have your own way of doing things. If you don't have your own way of doing things, life is going to do you. Hey, that was kind of a bar, but that's it for this video. Like, subscribe, share, comment. More videos on the way. Love y'all. Peace.